Look at the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. And I say to you, even Shalom, in all his esteem, was not dressed like one of these. Shalom, family. We hope and pray you are doing well. We have a couple questions to ask. Have you ever truly stopped to think about what this passage means and actually done what it says? Before we begin, please stay with us through the entire message. We believe this is an important end-time word that will help Yahuah's people endure to the end. With that being said, let's begin. To understand this verse properly, we need to look at the surrounding scriptures in Luqas chapter 12. We'll begin at verse 1 and walk through the chapter together, summarizing and pointing out important lessons along the way.
Verse 1. Meanwhile, when an innumerable crowd of people had gathered together, so that they trampled one another, he began to say to his Talmudim, First, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. And whatever is concealed shall be revealed, and whatever is hidden shall be known. So whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have spoken in the ear in inner rooms shall be proclaimed on the housetops. But I say to you, my friends, do not be afraid of those who kill the body, and after that are unable to do any more. But I shall show you whom you should fear. Fear the one who after killing possesses authority to cast into Gehenna. Yes, I say to you, fear him. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 copper coins? And not one of them is forgotten before Aluah. But even the hairs of your head have all been numbered. Do not fear, you are worth more than many sparrows. Notice in verse 6 that it says that 5 sparrows are sold for 2 copper coins, yet not one is forgotten before Aluah. Then in verse 7, we're told that even the hairs on our head are numbered, so we shouldn't fear. Since Yahuah has numbered and knows every hair on your head, doesn't this show how much he cares for you? That is the level of detail he placed into creating you. We have no reason to fear anything. Yahuah is watching over his people and cares deeply for each of us.
Verses 8 through 14, Yahusha continues, reminding them to confess him before men and not to worry when they are brought before rulers or authorities, because the Ruach HaKodesh will teach them what to say. Now let's continue in verse 15. And he said to them, Mind and beware of greed, because one's life does not consist in the excess of his possessions. He then spoke a parable to them, saying, The land of a certain rich man yielded well. And he was reasoning within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room to store my crops? And he said, I am going to do this, pull down my storehouses and build greater and store all my crops and my goods there. Then say to myself, Life, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, rejoice. But Aluah said to him, You mindless one, this night your life shall be demanded from you. And who shall own what you have prepared? So is he who is storing up treasure for himself and is not rich toward Aluah. Worry and greed often go hand in hand. We cannot walk in either one. This man had the wrong heart, and we must allow Yahuah to rule over all that he has Baruch or blessed us with.
Pay close attention to what comes next. And he said to his Talmudim, For this reason I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you shall eat, nor about the body, what you shall put on. The life is more than the food, and the body is more than the clothing. Look at the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which have neither storehouse nor granary, and Aluah feeds them. How much more valuable are you than the birds? Life is more than food and clothing. Many people spend their days worrying about what they will eat, where they will live, but we must remember that we are far more valuable than the birds. Keep your belief and trust in Yahuah and in his word. He takes care of his children. The birds don't worry about what they will eat, where they will dwell, or how they will be covered, and neither should we. Let's continue.
And which of you, by worrying, is able to add 1 pekos to his lifespan? If then you are unable to do the least, why do you worry about the rest? Look at the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. And I say to you, even Shalom in all his esteem was not dressed like one of these. And if Aluah so clothes the grass, which today exists in the field and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, how much more you, O you of little belief? And do not seek what you shall eat or what you shall drink, and do not keep worrying, for the Gentiles of the world seek all these, and your Father knows that you need these. But seek the reign of Aluah, and all these shall be added to you. Do not fear, little flock, because your Father delights to give you the rain. Sell your possessions and give in kindness. Make yourselves purses which do not grow old, a treasure in the Shamaim that does not fail, where no thief comes near nor moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart shall be also. As children of the Most High Yahuah, we don't have to worry about anything. In fact, we are commanded not to worry or fear. Worry will not add time to your life. It will not provide for you or bring you anything of value. It only causes problems. Yahuah is our Father, and we have to fully trust in what he says.
Looking again at verses 24 and 27, we see Yahusha say, look at the ravens and look at the lilies. Notice that this requires action. We are called to actually do it. The word look in its scriptural usage means to perceive, remark, observe, understand, to consider attentively, to fix one's eyes or mind upon. This isn't a quick glance. It's an attentive, thoughtful observation. This is what we need to do when it says, look at the ravens and lilies. To perceive, remark, observe, understand, consider attentively, and to fix our eyes and or mind upon them. Why? Because Yahuah wants us to see how he has provided and taken care of his creation, and in turn, hopefully it shows you, the observer, that he will do the same for you. What do we see from this? From the raven, they don't sow, they don't reap, they don't store food in barns, yet Yahuah takes care of them.
From the lily, look how they grow. They neither toil, which is the word kapi'o, and it means to grow weary, tired, exhausted, with toil or burdens or grief, to labor with wearisome effort, to toil of bodily labor, nor do they spin, meaning literally spinning of raw fibers together to make yarn or fabric for clothing. And even Shalom, in all his esteem, was not dressed like one of these. Remember, we are far more precious to Yahuah than the birds or the flowers. Now let's read verses 28 through 32 again. And if Aluah so clothes the grass, which today exists in the field, and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, how much more you, O you of little belief? And do not seek what you shall eat or what you shall drink, and do not keep worrying. For the Gentiles of the world seek all these, and your Father knows that you need these. But seek the reign of Aluah, and all these shall be added to you. Do not fear, little flock, because your Father delights to give you the rain.
In this hour, we have to be in a place where our complete trust is in Yahuah, not in the Babylonian system, not in governments, not in a job or business, not in someone else, nor in ourselves. We are entering perilous times, and things will continue to intensify. But those who trust in Yahuah have nothing to fear. The words we heard from Yahusha should remind us that in times of chaos and uncertainty, our peace and provision do not come from this world. They come from Yahuah alone. Yahuah doesn't want you to be afraid of what will be seen in the times ahead, because like scripture says, men's hearts will fail them for fear. Luqas 21:25-28. And there shall be signs in the sun and moon and stars, and on the earth anxiety of nations, and bewilderment at the roaring of the sea, and agitation. Men fainting from fear and the expectation of what is coming on the earth. For the powers of the Shamayim shall be shaken. And then they shall see the bane of Atham coming in a cloud with power and much esteem. And when these begin to take place, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. We are living in days where these words are unfolding. Many hearts will fail from fear of what is seen. But for those of us who walk in belief and trust Yahuah, we do not have to fear. Our hope is not in this world. Our deliverance, our true exodus is coming, not through a false, quote-unquote, secret rapture, but through Yahuah gathering his people from the four corners of the earth. And until that time, we continue to keep our eyes on him. Here are some key points we want you to take from this video. Yahuah takes care of the sparrows. Realize that you are of more value than the birds to Yahuah, and he will take care of you.
Look at the ravens. They neither sow nor reap, and have no storehouses, yet Yahuah feeds them. Again, know that you are more important than they are, and he will feed you. Look at the lilies and the grass. The lilies neither toil nor spin, yet they are dressed more beautifully than Shalom, the richest man in Scripture. And if Yahuah clothes the grass, which exists today and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, how much more will he clothe you? Seek the reign of Aluah. When you seek first his reign and his righteousness, all these things will be added to you. Do not fear. Your Father, Yahuah, delights to give you the rain. Trust in him completely and do not let fear take root. When Yahusha shows us that the sparrows, ravens, lilies, and grass are taken care of, he's also letting us know that we are more important than these, and that Yahuah will provide and take care of us, his children. Therefore, we must not lose hope, but trust that Yahuah knows what we need before we even ask. So let's not worry. Only keep your trust in him. Here is where you have an opportunity to immediately put this into practice. Take a moment, if you can, and go outside. Look at the flowers. Look at the birds. Look at the grass. Look at Yahuah's beautiful creation, and remind yourself that just as he clothes and feeds these, he will do the same for you.
No matter what comes, no matter how dark things become or appear, no matter what you have or don't have, remember this: Yahuah provides, Yahuah sustains, and Yahuah cares. Let your heart rest in him, and do not fear, little flock, for your Father delights to give you the rain. Thanks for watching. We hope this video has been helpful to you. We ask that you please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We love you and are praying for you. Until next time, family, Shalom.